back, I threw the keys. Like, I ain't even put them in there. I like chunked the keys on the thing. And she had said, don't throw that. And I said, who gonna stop me? Who finna stop me? I said,
You know what I'm talking about, babe? Yeah. Now it's time for me to...
Hey guys. Welcome back to my channel. So today's recording day, and I'm like, let me just record a whole bunch of videos for y'all so I can have everything for the whole week. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on the video, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. All the old people, thank you so much for staying with me, sticking with me. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much, guys, for liking and commenting and subscribing to my channel and helping me grow this thing, this little family here on this side of YouTube. I thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all don't even understand, like I do appreciate y'all. If you comment on my videos, I always comment back to all my comments. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm not a person that's like too busy to comment back. I be working and I comment back. I really mess with y'all. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, I F with you. I F with y'all heavy. So I do appreciate y'all taking your time out to watch my stuff, to comment on my stuff, to like my stuff, and share. If you share, sharing is caring. You should share my stuff, or let somebody.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
That stuff scared me, y'all. I'm scary. I told y'all. She got to get turned off because I don't. See, See, I'm too scared for this. Anyway, get your drink, get your snack if you haven't already, because she's scary. I'm about to take a drink of this. I'm scared, guys. And come back.
Period.
Now listen, I ain't even gonna take that out because I want y'all to see, like, that thing talk by, you know, listen, I don't like Siri sometimes. I got a refrigerator that got Alexa on it. My refrigerator has Alexa. One day I was downstairs. They don't got nothing to do with the video. One day I was downstairs, y'all. This was like a week. This was last weekend. I'm on the couch and I'm just watching TV. My kids, we watching TV or whatever. And we was watching some paranormal stuff. And the fridge was like, Alexa, she was like, I don't understand that command. That's what she said. You saw how hard I jumped off of this? Man, I jumped so hard, and I turned around, I looked, and I was like, now, we in the living room. The kitchen, nobody's in the kitchen. So we're like, we all looking at each other, and we're like, my kids is like, okay, yeah, who talking to Alexa? None of us said nothing to her. And the TV not blasting loud, so it's not like she can hear. Like, she can hear the TV, but it's not like you're talking to Alexa on the fridge. Nobody's in there. So I got up and I was like, man, I swiped the thing and I'm like, see, I gotta take her off of here because I can't, we ain't doing this. None of that. But anyway, y'all came because I wanted to tell y'all this story. You got your drink, got your snack, got your herbal essence, got all your stuff. I hope y'all do. But anyway, let's get into the story. I'm gonna tell y'all this story about this little hating ass hoe I used to work with. So the reason why this story popped in my head is because my aunt was here this past week. My aunt was here from New York, and she used to live here, and we used to work together. She helped me get a job. So we worked at a hospital. I'm gonna just tell it because at first when I was thinking about telling the story, I was like, oh no, I ain't gonna tell it. But I want to tell y'all stories about me working here because I used to work at a hospital, and next to the hospital is a psychiatric ward. So I had a lot of interesting, crazy stuff happen when I worked at the psych ward. So I'm gonna tell y'all those stories. But today we're gonna talk about this co-worker that we both had encounters with, me and my aunt. My aunt didn't get along with her and I didn't, but I'm gonna tell y'all a little backstory of why and this incident that happened with us. So my aunt was working at the hospital, whatever, and she was driving because she got a CDL too. So she was driving and she was like, I could get you a job up here driving. And she was like, fill out the application or whatever. Okay, my aunt got me the job. I got the job. I met the girl, whatever, and we gonna call her, dang, y'all. I need to give her, this girl right here I gotta give her a name. I had a name in my head, but I don't remember it because I didn't write it down when I was thinking about it. I should have asked my aunt, because my aunt be having my aunt is slick with it. Dang, man. I'm gonna call her Frog, because she had these big giant eyes. She ain't had no, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna call her Frog. We gonna call her Frog, because she was, I'm gonna describe what she looked like. This girl had no edges, like ski ball head, no edges. And she used to wear a bandana across to like cover up the fact she ain't had no edges. So she used to wear a bandana, and she always had this curly, dry, synthetic weave in her head. And this was before bundles was popular. Like bundles started getting popular maybe like 2 years after, because this was like 07. So this was like 2009 when bundles was like starting to kind of like surface, and it was more like you could kind of get them, but you still had to like, people were scamming because it was fresh. Like if you wasn't a person like a celebrity or something, you wasn't finna get no bundles like how, you better get the Indian Remy that's at the beauty supply store or whatever. But anyway, she would wear that dry curly weave in her head, and it would be long, like to the middle of her back. She would wear it, and she was built like a refrigerator. And I'm not saying that to be no hater, because one thing about it, if you fine and you look good, I'm gonna give it to you if you fine and you look good. And if you ain't fine and you ain't looking good and I don't like you, well, it is what it is. But even if I don't like you, and if I don't like you and you look good and I don't like you, I'm gonna say she look good. She just a nasty person. She just nasty in the inside, but she beautiful on the outside. It's a lot of people like that. But this girl was nasty on both sides. Built like a refrigerator. She had the biggest, gigantic watermelon boobs, and no butt, no hips, nothing. She ain't know what side she wanted to be on. She like boys, she like girls. She ain't know. She was like, and there ain't no cap. I love all of them. Them, I love them. But she was confused, because this is why I'm telling y'all she confused, because I meet her and she give me like this, like, so like I could read people. I read people, the room, the energy, whatever. I already felt like it was gonna be some animosity with her, because she wasn't very like inviting or cool or like easy. She was like kind of like stank with it. So, and I understand why, because she was beefing with my aunt. And when she found out that I'm her niece, because at first we didn't tell anybody that we was related, because our last names, like my last name and my aunt's last name is supposed to be the same, but it's not the same. I had my mom's last name, and my aunt had of course my dad's last name. That's my dad's sister. So I should have had the same last name, but didn't. But anyway, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. We was hiding the fact that we was related, but people knew that we was cool with each other, because my aunt was telling me stuff and to let me know, like, okay, this time you take your break here, you could do this, you could do that, you could go here, you could drive over here, don't stop there, pick up these people at this time. She would give me the whole rundown on everything, my aunt. So eventually it got found out that that's my aunt, and I was like, yes, this is my aunt, whatever. But this is what I want y'all to remember, or this is a key fact. So my aunt was dating this guy that worked there, and the guy that my aunt was talking to, the girl Frog liked that guy. She liked him, and she liked the guy who our supervisor, like really close with him. She used to eat with him, like eat lunch with him. He's married. You're eating lunch with him every day and walking around with him everywhere and hanging out with him and talking to, like, she was just doing like extra stuff. Like I wouldn't do that with no, especially with the supervisor. Like I don't want to eat with them or hang with them. Like I'm trying to get away from them. Like so, she was doing all of that. But I also found out something else about her. She was trying to be with him, but he had a crush on me that I did not know. I didn't know until I started talking to somebody that worked there. I didn't know that until he started cock blocking, you know, my little situation. That's when I found out that he had a thing for me. And I'm like, how he got a thing for me? He married anyway. But anyway, so all of this stuff is going on, right? So she getting into it with my aunt, her and my aunt be arguing and going back and forth. She had to relieve my aunt, and she would come late to relieve my aunt so my aunt could go home. And every time, like I said, she worked second shift. My aunt worked the first shift. So my aunt be there from like 4 a.m. to like 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. And then my aunt go home. So my aunt had to get off at 1. The girl wouldn't show up to relieve my aunt till like 1:15 or 1:20 or something like that. So my aunt, like, we had to drive. So if you're not there at the stop, we had to keep going until we see you. So my aunt would be sitting there waiting, and the girl never show up. So my aunt had to make another round and come back, and then the girl would be there. So they would get into it about that or whatever. So then I'm gonna tell y'all this other thing, and then I'm gonna get into the fight, the little fight me and her had. When I started working there, it was an older guy that worked with her. He worked on second shift. No, he worked on first shift with my aunt. I'm sorry. He worked on first shift because I would have to relieve him because I worked second shift sometimes, and then I worked third shift sometimes. It just depends. Sometimes I work third, sometimes I work second, but I would relieve the older man every day. He had the same schedule as my aunt, 4 a.m. until like 12:30, 1 o'clock. So every day that I would have to relieve him, he would, when I first started, he asked me, he said, everybody call me Joe. He's like, Joe, what's your favorite food? He asked me what's my favorite food. I have a lot of favorite foods, but I was like, oh, chicken wings. I'm like, I like fried chicken wings. I like buffalo wings, but I'm like, he's like, because he asked me which one. I said, I like fried, but if I eat fried, I want hot sauce. You know, I like hot sauce or pepper or whatever. You know, I'm telling him, because he asked me. So I told him. And he older man. He probably like, how old is he? He was like, we're going to call him Mr. M. He was probably like late 50s, like 57, 58. Probably at this time. He was like in his late 50s, and I'm like 23. I'm young. So he would come, and Frog, I did not know this, but Frog and him, he used to buy Frog food every day until I started working there. So when I started working there, he started buying me stuff. He would buy me all my favorite snacks, like all my favorite, he asked me, what's your favorite candy? And I told him I like sour candy. So he would buy me like Sour Patch Kids and gummy worms, or sour gummy worms, and gummy bears. He would bring me a Pepsi. I'm not a big soda person. Like, I don't drink soda all the time, but I do like a Pepsi. So he would be like, what's your favorite soda? I'm like, Pepsi. So he would bring me, I would have a Pepsi. I would have fried chicken wings, French fries, and hot sauce every single day, until I had to tell him, like, I don't want to eat this every day. Then he was like asking me other stuff. What else you like? He's like, because I want to bring you food. He's like, and if I don't bring you food, he's like, I'm gonna give you something so you can buy you a little something for lunch. And I'm like, you ain't gotta do that. But he was doing it so much. He was so nice. And I used to be like, you ain't gotta do it, you know, you ain't gotta do that all the time, whatever. He's like, I want to do it for you. So I'm like, okay. And he wasn't trying to do nothing with me. He wasn't trying to take me out. He never said, I like you, I want to take you out. He just be like, you know, I want to feed you. You know, I want to make sure you eat. I'm going home. I just want to make sure you got something to eat. And you like, I like, you know, feeding you. So I'm like, okay. So I let him do it. And she used to get so mad. But I never knew that's why. I never knew that's why she was getting mad. Until somebody told me, oh, what he do for you, he used to do that for her. And I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. I could see, you know, but that don't got nothing to do with me. It ain't like I knew, and I didn't know. So, okay, time go on. That's one thing that's feeding her, like she don't like. Another thing I'm gonna tell y'all, this is the last one for her. Okay, remember I was telling y'all she wears curly dry hair, right? She wear the dry curly hair and she wear it down. We supposed to wear our hair pent up, either up like this or up in a bun or something. It couldn't touch our collar. Like, we couldn't have our hair touching us at all. If we had long hair, we had to pin it up. So I used to always wear my hair long. I mean, y'all don't see yet, but when I do show y'all, I wear my hair long. Like, my braids are like down to my butt. Like, them things is long. So my hair be like that too. So they would always be like, Joe, you gotta pin your hair up. Joe, you gotta pin your hair up. They would always tell me I gotta pin my hair up. So I just start pinning my hair up so they wouldn't tell me that no more. Cause I don't like when people, like, especially my supervisor, I hate when they tell me stuff. It annoys me. Like, don't tell me nothing. Like, I heard you, I did it, I'm doing it. Like, leave me alone. So, but I went to my manager. So I went above the supervisor. I went to the manager and I was like, every day, y'all always stopping me, telling me, pin my hair up. But she walk around here with this dry, curly hair down her back and don't nobody tell her to pin that stuff up. So I'm like, how is it that I got to pin my hair up? My aunt natural real hair, my aunt real hair is down her back, like down past her bra strap, her real hair. My aunt pin her hair up. Everybody else that's girls that work here pin their hair up. But I'm like, she the only one walking around here with this dry hair, you know. And I said that too, like her hair dry and y'all never tell her nothing. So he was like, you know what? You right about that. Don't nobody tell her anything. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I fix that. I'm gonna take care of that. I'm gonna take care of that because that's not fair. If we constantly telling you, like, it's only fair that she got to pin her hair up. So I don't care who say what. I don't care if you call it dry snitching, hating, whatever, call it what you want. If I gotta wear this beautiful hair that I got done at the salon, I gotta keep pinning it up, messing up my hair. She gotta pin up that dry, matted bird's nest on her head. She need to pin it up too. So yeah, I told him. And that just ignited fuel to us getting into it real bad. So they must have told her that I said something, which I did not care. I don't care. I would have told her myself. Yeah, I told her. I don't care. I got to put my hair up. You need to put your hair up. But so they must have told her. So she would look at me and she would cut her eyes at me. She would roll her eyes. I'm like, I don't care. You skank, skeezer. I don't care. Like, I don't, girl, please. You can roll your eyes. You can do whatever. I don't give a damn. They don't faze me. Don't say nothing to me though. That's just keep watching mouth. So one day, I guess she felt kind of like, okay, I'm gonna tell her something. Not about that, but just tell me something, period. So we, this day, I wasn't driving at all. And she wasn't driving. We were inside the building, inside the hospital working. And she was in charge of like telling us, like, she wasn't our boss or nothing like that. She would, if we needed to go do something for somebody or open a door, this day I had to open a door for somebody. They wanted me to go open a door for like a doctor or something, go help a doctor, go do something. So I was like, okay. She called me and asked me to come do it. I said, okay, I got the keys and I went to go do it. When I came back, the door wouldn't open. So I came back down and I'm like, the door won't open. I don't think that's the right key. I need the right key or whatever. So she had like a stank attitude. And the way she had said it to me, it was like, kind of like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, basically, like, you need to figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you need to just go do it yourself. I don't know. Like, you need to go do it. And she said it like aggressively and with like loud. Like, she was loud talking me. So I was like, watch your mouth. You don't talk to me like that. You need to watch your mouth. I don't know who you talking to. Like, watch your mouth. And then she was looking at me like, I don't got to watch nothing. And I'm like, yes, you do. So in between us about to get into this, like we going back and forth, it's a window. I'm on one side of the window and she's on the other side, but she's sitting down. And she's sitting down and she's typing on like the computer saying that or whatever. So I left out and I slammed the door. And I went to go figure, like, I got another set of keys and I ended up opening the door and I came back. And when I came back, I threw the keys. Like, I ain't even put them in there. I like chunked the keys on the thing. And she had said, don't throw that. And I said, who gonna stop me? Who finna stop me? I said, and she just was like, you. Like, she basically was just like looking at me, just like I'm looking at y'all, like looking at me, and I'm looking at her like, what? And then I'm like, your mouth is terrible. I said, you talk to people like, well, I ain't even gonna say people, you talk to me, I don't know what's your problem, what's going on with you, I don't know what's the issue. But I'm like, you need to watch your mouth, how you talk to me. I'm grown. And like I said, I was like 23. She was like the same age. Like, we both like 23, 24. Like, watch your mouth. And then she was just like, I guess she just was just built up animosity or whatever towards me or whatever. So she just started like saying like yelling, screaming, and like talking crazy. So I started yelling, screaming, talking crazy to her. So we talking back and forth, we screaming at each other. And I was just like, if you want to do something, you get up out that chair. Like, it ain't nothing stop. And then all the time we arguing, our supervisor sitting at the desk, the one I told y'all she eat lunch with, he's sitting at the desk, he ain't even saying nothing. So I'm just like, when I started telling her like, if you won't keep on talking, we could do something about the talk. You ain't got to sit up here and talk. You do something if that's what you want to do. And then she was just like sitting there like, nah, I ain't finna do nothing. Like, I just talk. She just kept talking. Like, she was talking reckless. She wasn't calling me out my name or saying anything like that. She just was just like, I don't gotta say nothing to you. You just supposed to do what I'm supposed to tell you. You supposed to do what I tell you to do. I'm like, I already did it. I already opened the door. I asked you what's the key. You didn't tell me what's the key. I said, so you told me figure it out. And I got another key and I opened the door. I'm like, you ain't no help. All you doing is sitting your fat, bad built self. Like, I just went in. Fat, bad built, ugly, bald head. I started calling her no edges, ugly, buck-eyed. I'm just going crazy on her. And she just was like, telling me, just saying like little stuff, but she wasn't saying nothing like I said, she was just like screaming about that and screaming about she could tell me what to do or whatever. And I was like, you can't tell me shit. You ain't my supervisor or whatever. You can't tell me nothing. You don't run shit. Like, you just sitting up here telling me to go open the door. You don't tell me shit. So the supervisor was like, okay, that's enough, y'all. I guess he got tired of us yelling at each other. So he was like, oh, that's enough, y'all. He's like, Joe, just go out there. And he was like, you need to tell her she need to be quiet. You need to be quiet or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, get your little girlfriend. And then he was like, what'd you say? I said, yeah, get your little girlfriend. She around here acting like you hers. Nobody can't talk to you. Nobody can't say nothing. He's like, what you mean by that? I got a wife. I'm like, yeah, you got a wife, but this your wife at work? And then she was just looking. And then he looking at me and I'm like, yeah. And then I close the door. And then ever since that day, he stopped eating with her. He started telling people, I don't want people thinking that she trying to be with me. I don't want people thinking that we doing anything because I don't like her like that. I don't want to be with her. I got a wife, a beautiful wife at that. His wife was beautiful. And he was like, I got a wife and I got kids. I don't need that type of stuff. We just cool. But if people thinking that it's something going on with us, I'm going to stop that right now. So then, because another thing about her, she would always be like, oh, I heard you was eating with so-and-so. Like, if he eat with another person, another woman, she would say something about that too. So it make it obvious like y'all messing around, but he would keep saying they wasn't. But anyway, so we got into it. And then after that, this is when it just got even worse. We had another supervisor that she was really cool with. Like, they was super tight, her and this other supervisor. So tight that they made my life effing hell. Like, I told y'all she was supposed to wear a hair pent up, and I would have to go into the manager office and tell on the supervisor, because I'm like, the supervisor be fussing at me, telling me this, telling me that, doing all this for me to do. But she can run around here, hop, skipping, and jolly-gadding around here. She ain't got to listen. She don't do her job. She go sit outside and smoke all day with her. They talking about whatever they talking about. I'm like, she ain't doing no work, but she want to make me do all this stuff and then tell me put my hair up. And I'm like, that's not... So it got bad. It got so bad that they made her start working outside. And, like, it was bad. Then they start putting me in, like, bad places, like... I didn't care. Like, I would be at the psych place a lot. I didn't care about that. But they would try to like make me like sometimes we would have to be on like a floor that wasn't finished, and you had to sit up there and like just make sure everything cool. They were trying to make me do that where I can't be around nobody. And this is before like social media was like super popular. Like, you kind of like isolated by yourself, nothing to do, nothing. So she would try to do that to me, and it worked for a little bit until I started telling. And then, this is the last thing. So then, the girl ends up pregnant. She ended up pregnant with this, and I told y'all she don't know what's up. She don't know if she over here. She don't know what's going over here. I don't know, but she started talking to this guy, and she got pregnant by the guy, whatever. And the only reason why I know is because she told me. So, I had ended up having 2 kids working there. Like, I worked there, and I was pregnant with both of my children while I was working there. So she seen me through my pregnancy. And she used to do a lot of stuff. Like she would come late. Like I would have to use the restroom. So I used to be like, F it, I'm just not gonna pick up. I'm gonna just stop and I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'm pregnant. I'm sitting on my bladder. Like I'm not gonna. She would come late to relieve me. She would come late for me to go eat. I used to just bring me food because I don't got time to be waiting on nobody because I'm hungry and I got this baby in my stomach. I gotta eat. She would do like little stuff like that. But then when she got pregnant, she come to me and she's like, Joe, I know we didn't have a good, we don't have a good rapport with each other as far as, a friendship and things like that. She's like, but, I'm sorry about this. She told me she was sorry about all of that. She was like, it's a misunderstanding. Sorry, I don't know. I guess the baby must have changed. I don't know. She's like, we got a misunderstanding, whatever. I want to be cool, whatever. She's like, you cool. You're not a bad person. I'm like, okay. I'm listening to her. And she was like, I just want to talk to you about, I'm first time being pregnant, I don't know what to expect. She was like, is this supposed to go on? She started asking me all these different little stuff about being pregnant. And I sat with her. I sat there and I was telling her, because I'm not a person that holds stuff. I don't hold stuff. But I also watch people. So like if you do something to me, you cross me. I might not fool with you, but trust me, I'm watching. I'm watching you. Just know that. So we work together close quarters. So I'm like, they say keep your enemies closer or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna watch her. I'm gonna keep, because I'm trying to see what she about to, because it can go down. It don't matter. But she started asking me all this stuff and I started telling her. And then she started telling me about how she met the guy and all of this stuff about that. And it was a whole bunch of drama with that. She started telling me all this stuff. And I was just talking to her and telling her different stuff and giving her advice. Telling her this gonna happen at this stage, this gonna happen there, whatever. And she was just like, like every time we turn around, like we would talk about everything. And then she would relieve me late. But when she was having her thing, like her baby stuff going on, I was like, if you don't want to drive, you don't want to do this, I'm like, I'll drive. You could just stay inside. Like it ain't that, I understand. Because when I was pregnant, I did not want to drive. I didn't want to do nothing. I wanted to sit down somewhere. I didn't want to do nothing. So I was like, I could do that for you. And I would do it for her. And I would relieve her a lot. I'm like, if you want to use the restroom anytime, just call me, text me, whatever, and I come. And I did that all the way up till she had a baby. But then when she had that baby, I think I ended up either, I don't know, if I left after I had my second daughter. Like I had my daughter and then a month later, I had my daughter, I used all my PTO time. I used all my maternity time, and then I gave them a 2-week notice, and I left. So I don't know. I think I was she had her baby, and then I had got pregnant, and then I left after that. Yeah. So she was better when I had got pregnant the second time, because she even came to my baby shower at work, because I had a baby shower at work. She came to that. So yeah, it's that me and her, we used to get into it a lot, and it was because she didn't like my aunt, and she, I guess because I was related to her, she just like, I don't like you either. Instead of just being like, okay, I don't like your aunt, but you cool, whatever. I guess some people don't work like that, but it is what it is. But if you like the story, I went down rabbit holes and stuff, because that's what I do. Tell story inside a story. If you like that, if you like my stories or whatever, leave a comment down below. And subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all guys in my next upload. Yeah, because today is recording day. That's what we're gonna do, record. So bye.